Hey everyone, it's Rich Tola. Thanks for tuning in to Tola Talks Texas. That is me playing the harmonica. Love it. Been doing that for years. So I'd like to start the show with that. This is the second episode. Thanks for tuning into the first one on Christmas Day. Today is Monday, December 27th. There's 5 days left in the year. What do you have planned to get you through the year? That's it. Texas, give a shout out. Hey, everyone in Texas, hope you're doing awesome. Land of the free, home of the brave. Here I am, downtown, historic Plano. Love it. You guys know Texas for what? Cowboys, guns, oil, and the best barbecue in the world. Well, maybe you didn't know this about Texas. I said it on my last show. Dr. Pepper was invented by Charles Alderton, Waco, Texas, in 1885. Little tidbit there. How about the first frozen margarita machine? That's right. Guy by the name of Mariano Martinez. He was inspired by the Slurpee machine at 7-Eleven. You go check it out at the Smithsonian Institute. Give a shout out to my friends in Washington, D.C., Joe and Adam, and everyone else in their family. Give a shout out to you guys. And here's another little tidbit. Give you 3 pieces of info this morning. Good things come in threes. It's another chapter in my memoir. But Looney Tunes animator Tex Avery, he introduced the famous Bugs Bunny catchphrase, "What's up, Doc?" That's right. It was commonplace from where he grew up. I think he went to North Dallas High School. So there you go. A couple of things about Texas that you didn't know. Loving it here. And, I want to give a shout out to this elderly couple who was walking this morning. They were walking, holding hands. I mean, they must have been 70 years old. It was awesome. They were holding hands. They were patiently waiting for a track to explode on. Oh, no, that's 50 Cent. Guys know that album, Get Rich or Die Trying, from 2003. Position of Power is the song. Love that song. Anyway, they were patiently waiting to cross the street. It was really nice. I like to see an elderly couple walking, because walking is a foundation of how to drink from the fountain of youth. Guys, we're going to jump right into that section. This show, be doing this on a daily basis, but the show has 3 parts to it. Well, there's a little bonus track, probably talking films and books. And this one here, how to drink from the fountain of youth, talking current events, is the second part, and cryptocurrencies. So I'll mix those up on a daily basis. Doesn't have to stay in the same order. But what's it take to drink from the fountain? You got to walk. I mean, these folks are walking. Pretty cool. They were crossing a highway, too, and they were waiting for the light to change. They pressed the button. They could have walked. The light was green for them, that they waited, standing with good posture. Couldn't believe it. Good shape. Way to go, Texas, folks in Texas. So let's talk about this, because today, right, I went to the gym. Did you go to the gym yesterday? Well, yesterday my gym opened back up at 5 a.m. I was there at 5:15. Because you have to, right? Did you eat too much? Did this over this Christmas little weekend thing? But anyway, went to the gym yesterday. Felt really good. But this morning, I wasn't feeling it, guys. My shoulders, I had some issues with both shoulders when I was stretching. Typically, I do stretch and abs to start. But today, I don't know what was going on. So I thought, okay, now, what does it mean when you have aches and pains, which I do on a daily basis? But the shoulders were particularly sensitive this morning, so of course I stretched. I didn't do abs today. I'm going to go back today to do abs and finish my biceps, because I kind of cut out early because of the shoulder issues. But I started with a little bit of shoulder stretch, warm up. I did some, upright row types with a 25-pound weight. So I started with that because, hey, if it's feeling a little sensitive, I said, let me get that out of the way first. But today, what I did is like a mishmash. I didn't do, typically when I'm doing chest, you guys know what I do. I do 7 parts. I do abs, stretching. I do shoulders. I do back. I do bis. I do tris. I cover the gamut, and legs sometimes. Today I did legs. But normally I'll do chest together, right? Well, typically I do a superset. Love to do dips and pull-ups as my first superset. You know what superset means? Well, a set is when you're doing, it's like set and then repetition. So a set is basically one exercise you're doing, and repetitions is how many of that you're doing. Most people do 8, 10, 6, whatever. I try to shoot for 8 to 12, depending on what the weight is. So typically you do 1, 2, 3 in a row, and you go to another exercise. I just mixed it up today. So I did dips first, then I went and did a little back, then I came back and did the chest press machine, then I went back and did pull-ups, then I went over to do triceps. So I kind of mixed it up because of the little issues with the shoulders, and I did only 2 sets of shoulders in addition to the upright rows, which equals 3, because I'm always shooting for 3, well, 3 or 4 minimum. So got them all in, but again, if you have issues, it's okay. You got to keep going. So that's what I did today. Get you inspired. Go to the gym, guys. Get your walk in. Get your 2 miles in. Get on the bike. Get on the stairs. Go swimming. Do yoga. Do something that's going to keep you drinking from the fountain of youth, because as we said, health equals wealth. That's the foundation of my religion, Tolism. You guys read that on the first episode. No doubt. And to me, it's every day. And like I said, I cut it short today. I went for like 30 minutes. I shoot for 45 minutes every day. So I said, yeah, I wasn't feeling it. So I said, I'll go back. Go back for 20 minutes. No big deal. Anyway, that's all we're going to talk about with fitness today, because everybody knows you got to do something on a daily basis to stay fit forever, because forever fit is going to protect you against all sorts of things like Omicron or Omicron. I keep saying that incorrect. By the way, let's just jump right into that current events, because I got a couple calls from folks from New Jersey. I want to give a shout out to all my peeps from New Jersey. That's my home state. And after they listened to the first show, they said, you know, I got a phone call from one guy, and then let me tell you what this guy said, because it was kind of cool. He said, hey, let me tell you, my neighbor, he said it's a Polish family. He said the mother and father are in their 70s, the son and his wife are in their mid-40s, and they have 2 kids, like, I don't know, teens. And they all live together call them row homes in Trenton, New Jersey. So he calls me up and he says, hey, man, love your show. Let me tell you what you said about personal experiences, because you can only go by personal experiences, right? By the way, guys, that first show was 52 minutes. I'm going to try to keep these half of that, 24, 25, as if it's like a 30-minute sitcom, right? I remember Seinfeld. Those sitcoms are about 22 to 24 with the advertising. No advertising on this just yet, guys, but hopefully that will come. If you want to support me, hey, buy my books. That would be awesome. But hey, love this. Turning this into, my goal is a 3-hour show. I'm going to make room. Howard and Joe Rogan, hopefully to make room for Rich Tola. But anyway, so he calls me up and he says, let me tell you our personal experience with my neighbor. He said, my neighbor, he said, they all have Omicron. They got the virus. He said, the 2 parents are not vaxxed. They're unvaxxed. Whereas everyone else, the son, daughter-in-law, 2 kids, they have all 3. They're all boosted up. He said, now, the 2 parents, nothing. They have no symptoms. They're asymptomatic, 0 symptoms whatsoever. And everyone else has symptoms, flu-like, aches and pains, muscle pains, and we'll talk about that in a second, because the doctor in South Africa said typically it's not respiratory, but it's going to move to the musculoskeletal system. So he says that's his personal experience, and he went over there. He's like, you know, he's vaccinated. He said, I went over there. I wasn't really concerned. I wanted to check on them. He said, yeah, they had flu-like symptoms, but the older folks, the 70-year-old, had nothing whatsoever, but they all tested positive. So again, that's his personal experience. He relayed that to me. So in the news this morning, I checked out MSNBC. Now, you guys know I love Fox. Fox is the way they're in line with my thinking. But I like to see what the other side is thinking. So this Dr. Angelique Coetzee, she's a South African doctor who was credited for alerting the world to Omicron variant, said she hasn't seen any asymptomatic cases of the virus, meaning someone with no symptoms. Well, she may not have seen it, but I'm getting it directly from this gentleman who was over the house and saw it directly, okay? She says it affects the musculoskeletal system, the muscles, bones, joints, and ligaments, rather than upper respiratory, and you might get some headaches with that. Well, I had issues with the muscles, bones, joints, and ligaments today, and I'm not getting tested for anything at the moment, but nonetheless, this is what she's saying, and again, contrary to what this gentleman told me, and it's also said in this little article that 73% of the new domestic infections, I guess from here, U.S., are from Omicron, okay? Well, guess what? We had 1,400 more flights canceled today. Okay. By the way, she also said treatment is quite easy for this new variant. So anyway, just giving you some information there, guys. Listen, I'm the opposite of the fear mongering guy. Remember, I'm talking about Martians coming here, and I'm the first guy running out to go fight those Martians because I don't want to be in the basement afraid of anything. Now, meanwhile, out on the range, well, it's not on the range, it's what's happening in our world today, or specifically the United States. You guys know there's over 100,000 restaurants that were closed due to the pandemic already. Probably more to come. Several retailers announced closures in cities today due to consumer attitudes and future health issues with spikes in crime. Talked about that. Most important thing for me is safety. Moved here because of the safety. Plano, awesome town, very safe. Kudos, guys. So CVS is closing 9% of their stores, 300 a year for the next 3 years. Macy's, give a shout out to my friend Angela, works for Macy's. They're closing physical locations. They're citing frailty of the brick and mortar model. You guys know what that means, brick and mortar. That's physical locations. That's a sad thought because I'm actually a Macy's member, have the Macy's card, like Macy's. But anyway, Macy's is closing a lot of locations. J.C. Penny, Neiman Marcus filed for bankruptcy. Used to shop at Neiman Marcus, and J.C. Penny is a big one back where I come from. So those guys are filed for bankruptcy. Walgreens and Target are closing several locations in San Francisco. We know what's happening in San Francisco. It's like chaos. Good luck, California. You guys know I left California because of safety issues. But aside from that, what about Home Depot and Best Buy? These guys are on the ropes too. So that's what's going on. I mean, what is happening in our society is, well, everybody's getting affected. Jobs, retail locations. The online model, I guess Amazon proved it. They're the king of the hill in that regard. But hey, I got to miss their brick and mortar. I remember those days going to the mall. By the way, I put out a blog quite some time ago called Walk the Mall. So if you can't get outside in the wintertime, weather's poor on the East Coast or wherever, even California. I must have brought the good Cali weather here when I came because it's beautiful here in Texas. But if the weather's lousy, go to the mall, right? Hopefully it's an indoor mall, but got to walk. You got to do something, guys. So stay positive always. Stay positive about what's going on in society. Things will change. Things will get better. But I'm glad I wasn't traveling. I give a shout out to my family. Again, my mother said, nah, don't come here. It's nonsense. But didn't make it. So have the credit. It's all good stuff. All right. What else? Current events. Well, you know what? Let's move on. Let's move on to cryptocurrencies because that's all we're going to talk about. Why don't you, like I said, I want to go rambling on, try to keep this short and sweet today. Cryptocurrencies. All right, let's talk about that because they shut up a little bit, if you guys are seeing. Remember, I'm a Robinhood fan, and looking at this now, and cryptos are up today. I'm up about 1.3%, which is pretty good in my portfolio. But cryptos, remember, I'm focused on the ones on Robinhood because I don't have any exchange accounts. So Robinhood's got the Bitcoin Cash. That's looking pretty good today. I think you're gonna see that back at 500 before too long. But let's talk about these wash sales. You know what a wash sale is? Now this occurs to stocks. Hasn't applied yet to cryptos, but I believe that's what's gonna happen in 2022. So you could do wash sales with cryptos, meaning it's when an investor sells or trades a security at a loss and within 30 days before or after buys another security that is substantially similar. Basically, used to be identical, but not sure how they're going to rule the cryptocurrencies because is it all cryptos? That's going to be interesting because Bitcoin Cash is different than Bitcoin, right? As well as the Satoshi Vision is different than Bitcoin, Litecoin, but they all sort of run together, right? We talked about this. Bitcoin is the big dog, king of the hill, and they sort of follow. Hopefully, they're going to decouple, and Bitcoin Cash did decouple from Bitcoin. I mean, I kind of keep the percentages, and I like to see, how they relate to each other. And they used to sort of run one for one, but that's changed. Bitcoin Cash is lagging. They're all lagging. They're not staying with the big dog. But the big dog now is at 51,400. Looking at it as we speak. Like I said, it's Monday morning here. And Ethereum is holding firm. It's about 4,100. Love Ether. Doge is up to 19 and change. I said, guys, I like the Doge. That's going to be running. I think you're going to see that in the mid-20s before too long. And the classic, Ethereum Classic, is now at 38.50. And Litecoin's pushing at 160. Litecoin will be back at 200. So what's going to happen when the wash sale goes away? Because I think what people are doing is they're selling and they're buying it back, right? They're taking that loss. So if you bought Bitcoin at, let's use Bitcoin, for example. You paid $64,000 for Bitcoin. Now it's at 51. You sell it, you take that, there's that loss, right? How many thousands of dollars, and you buy it right back. The tricky part is it does move around pretty quickly. Can you buy it back at the same price? Can you buy it back cheaper? Well, whatever it may be, it's buying it back. That's the wash sale aspect of it. And when you do that, I used to do that when I was trading the TD Ameritrade. What they do is they readjust your price. So you don't really get that loss effect. You can't basically apply that against your earnings or winnings, whatever you want to call it. So the wash sale, I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to take that away. Are they going to take it away for specific each crypto? So for instance, Doge, if you bought Doge, like a buddy of mine bought Doge at 30 cents. So if he sold it right now and bought it right back, he's going to get, take a look at 30% loss on his money. So if he put up 5,000, that's going to be, $1,500 that he's going to have a loss, but he's going to buy it back the same amount. So in a sense, that's kind of, it's not cheating, right? But it's allowed currently. And as I agree, it should not be allowed because you're just sort of taking, just moving the numbers around to get that loss. So when the government changes the laws for that, which most likely I think they will, I don't know anything for certain, but that's going to change. I believe it's going to change the trading aspect of these coins. So the traders are always going to do what the traders do, and the traders rule. Remember, nobody knows where they're going. Nobody knows where anything is going. But the traders rule, right? They're going to make the move. So these guys have tons of capital. They could move the markets. These cryptocurrency markets are a lot different than stock markets, right? Cryptos, there's no earnings related to them. So it's speculative. You're going on as an investment, as my friend once said, isn't it gambling? Well, but again, I look at it as currency. So you're going to be able to use these in the future, just like Doge. I'd like to go to my Taco Bell or whatever, McDonald's, Burger King, wherever you like. What's the Kentucky Fried Chicken? Whatever you like. If you could swipe your boom and use your Doge, that'd be awesome. So with the wash sales, I believe it's going to take away some of the volatility. Some of the volatility is going to be taken away. Guys like me, right, when I do a trade, I'm going to look at it differently because I'm looking more as a buy and hold player. I kind of thought I was the big trader. You guys take a listen to the previous show. But, it's going to take away, I believe, it's going to take away some volatility, and hopefully in a good way. And these things will act more like stocks where they're kind of moving their way up instead of jumping up and down 5%. I mean, these things can move 5% in a 30-minute period. That's a big jump. So anyway, wash sales, I believe, positively affect the cryptos, taking away the volatility, taking away that small-time trader or the big-time trader. And guys are going to look at it more for a buy and hold. Again, guys, I said cryptos, we're in the first inning. And in that first inning of the game, it's a long game, probably extra innings. We've got a long way to go. Hopefully over the next 5 years, 10 years, these things really escalate. So people have who put in a long-term perspective going to be use them as cash. You could be buying your Tesla with that. By the way, let me give you a couple things that I like in case you want to get into typical regular stocks, right? I told you I got into the pot stocks for a while, but I like Tesla. I do. I think Tesla's going to be back at 1,200 pretty soon. It's 1,092 at the moment. Kudos to Musk. Of course, I like Apple. I think Apple's going to be at 200 before too long. I was an Alibaba fan. I actually made some money in Alibaba. I was around the 150s. But I think that's going to get back to the 150s. It's at 120 right now. What else? I like Robinhood. I do. I mean, I'm a fan. Robinhood's treated me well. I have the money market account. That's at 1839. Kind of been crushed lately, but I think that works its way back. And Plug Power. Plug Power is around $30. Hydrogen, if you believe in that. I mean, I made some money on Plug. I think I bought it in the early 20s, and it kind of bumped up sold around 25. But anyway, those are some extra names. Plug Power, Robin Hood. Again, do I consider myself an expert in investing? No way, guys. These are just my thoughts. So again, Alibaba, what else? Tesla, Apple. Apple's always awesome. But either way, these are some ideas for you if you're looking to get in. Just $50, $100, kind of get yourself going. Think about it. All right, so that's it. That's the 3 parts to the show. But let me give you one last part. Give a shout out to Matthew McConaughey. My sister and her family gave me his book, Greenlights. I started reading it yesterday. Now, Matthew, he doesn't want to be, his mother said, what is it in the book? Somebody called him, he answered to the name Matt, and she said, I didn't name you after a doormat. So Matthew McConaughey, great name there, by the way. 3 things I learned from his family, just reading it. I've only read 40 pages, guys. Passion. His family was filled, they're rife with passion. It was the word family, no doubt. They were a family who cared and loved for each other. He said they loved each other on a daily basis. And true grit. I give him that, man. Matthew, man, with the true grit. His family was true grit. Father was a big dude. Whip brought out the belt. That was our generation because discipline, no doubt, discipline works. And I come from that world where it's like, yeah, you have to be disciplined. Discipline, no doubt, is going to position you for success in the future. Right now, there's all this willy-nilliness. Give you a little, when I was teaching school, that's for another episode, but I spent time substitute teaching, and there's no discipline there. You couldn't suspend anybody. People would tell me to go, no kidding. I've had students tell me to go fuck off. Unbelievable when a student just looks at a teacher and says that. And then you can't do anything, about it. And you could say, oh, you got to leave the class, go to the principal's office. They send them back. So anyway, discipline, our society, I definitely think we're lacking in that. I don't want to get into all my thoughts on where this country's going, but I definitely think, guys, we got to grab ourselves by the bootstraps. Got to do what's best for you. You got to respect. Discipline, respect. Defiance is another word that's a real bad word when it comes to, students. But any event, respect. Respect your mind, respect your body, respect your spirit. And what about affirmations, right? You guys have affirmations for me. Another day, another workout, strong body, clear mind. And the universe is conspiring for my highest good in every aspect of my life. Repeat those every day because I believe that. You got to believe that. You have to believe in something, right? What do you worship? So, guys, stay true to your beliefs. Seek the truth. Remember, the truth is out there. The X-Files. There was 11 seasons of the X-Files. David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. Seek the truth, right? And again, go on your personal experiences. Again, what is it that you're personally experiencing? Somebody tells you, well, okay, go out and experience it on your own, and then you can formulate your own thoughts, because your brain, empowering your brain and your body is the way to go. Yeah, I believe it. So on that note, guys, have an awesome day. Have an awesome week. We got 5 days left till the end of the year. Next year, we're going to rock it. Everyone, tell yourself, I'm rocking next year. If you put on weight, don't worry about it. Forget about that. And, one last note, I talked to another friend from New Jersey called, and she said, I put on 5 pounds. And she said, my problem is, I said, whoa, stop right there. You don't have a problem. You put on 10 pounds, that's nothing. You could lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. That's a piece of cake. She goes, the problem is, I said, stop saying that. Stop saying you have a problem. Yeah, if you think you have a problem, you have a problem. She said, I'm an emotional eater. I said, stop doing that then. Don't do that. When you get emotional and you go to eat, say, I'm not going to eat. And I told her, I said, cut the food intake by 50%, cut it in half, and lose the weight, okay? That's easy, guys. Don't beat yourself up over weight gain, because to me, that's the easiest thing to get rid of. Just stop eating. Eat less food. As I said way back in the past, you've been following me, take the food you're going to eat, take half of it, and give it to a homeless person. There's always another person less fortunate than you that needs a helping hand, without a doubt. Remember, the strong support the weak. Help them out. Stop eating it. Cut it in half. Give the food away. And I guarantee you, in 2 weeks, you will lose the weight. That's it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. It's a happy Tuesday. It's always a happy day. I love that with the kids. I talk kinder. Kinder in first grade virtual, and it was always Happy Friday, but it was every day these kids were happy. That's what's great about being a little kid. You're happy all the time. So be happy, be positive, do the right thing. It's right for you, for your family, and don't believe that you can't. If you got to lose weight, anything is possible if you set your sights and try. Remember, get your workout in. Peace.